is the Big O Show.
You've been listening to our Dolphins.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on the new 2025 Acura Integra. $289 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines. #1 in the USA.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding. After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt & Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt and Rayom can help. The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Miami Dolphins fans, time to rock out with another Dolphins pregame show. Big O and the boys are ready to give you the latest information, injury news, gambling insight as we get ready for kickoff. The pregame show is brought to you by Welt & Rayom, Toyota of Hollywood, Acura of Pembroke Pines, Hialeah Park Casino, RM Contractors. The broadcast is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley. Here's your host, the Big O, Orlando Alzugari.
Hey,
Good evening, maybe good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world watching, and we appreciate it, or anywhere in the United States. Thank you for taking this torturous ride with us called the Miami Dolphins. It is what it is, right? What are we going to do? Well, tonight, it's the Dolphins and the Jets. What's going to happen? Miami is favored by 2.5. The over and under is 44. Jets plus 125 on the money line. The Dolphins are minus 150. I don't like this game. I don't trust the Dolphins. So on the betting side, I almost feel like, because this is a game that's going to be tight, I think. I don't think anybody's really going to get blown out here. I think it's just one of those things. It's going to be a roller coaster of emotions and all that. And we hope our team ends up on top. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait for the flip of the coin. We'll see what happens. If the Jets get the ball first, then they drive a little. Maybe it drives down the points. And maybe I even get a plus. Then I start to think, okay, now I can, maybe I get +1 or -0.5 or something. Something like that. If I can do something like that, bring it down, then I might do something. Who knows? But I don't know. I might be crazy enough to put a little bit of action on the game, but it is what it is. But anyway, welcome aboard. We do have a second game tonight. Broncos are favored by 7.5 at home against the Bungles. And remember, the Bungles do not have Joe Cool. He's out. 44.5 points is the over and under. Bengals are plus 375, and the Broncos are minus 500. That'll be game number 2. So that'll be going on during our post-game show, obviously, since it starts there. We will get to that. There was a move today. Jason Marshall, the corner, was placed on the IR, so he's out at least 4 weeks. Kicker Riley Patterson. This is, I believe, his final game, right? I think, till they get back their kicker. So I don't know. I think Sanders should be getting back, right? I think it's something like that. So this is his last game. Hopefully everything goes well and we get Sanders back. But Riley's done all right, and we'll see what happens if they need him today. Inactives are in, okay? Quinn Ewers is the emergency third quarterback. Ethan Bonner, the sensation, he is inactive. Storm Duck is in the pond. Taj Washington, inactive. And Zeke Biggers is also on the sideline. So that is your inactives for tonight. In a game where do want to remind you, of course, that Canes were a proud sponsor of our program, and you can use our code BIG010. You can get all kinds of stuff there with a Canes logo on it, Dolphins gear, Marlins gear, Panthers championship gear, Miami Heat gear. So go see Brett and Jeff and Jack and Ken and all the great people out there at Caneswear. Go online, caneswear.com. If you order over $99, you will get free shipping, okay? And if you go in person, make sure you tell them that I sent you. Use the code BIG010. You will get 10% off. Remember, you can support the show many ways. Please hit the hell out of the like button. That is one thing that we need. Please hit the like button, all right? We got a fraction of the folks that have hit the like button, so you can do that. You can also make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo. You can use those QR codes at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can send your questions and comments and insults and all kinds of stuff there, and we will read them on the air as always. By the way, Bitcoin over 114,000. That is nice. 114,245. Here we go. Climbing. Anyway, so use the QR codes, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. This is a game where I also think that the Dolphins got themselves a break. That's the pretty cool part about this. I think they got themselves a break. And I tell you this because Tyrod Taylor is, I know the one game that Justin Fields had, but Tyrod's actually had a couple of games against us. And I've watched him play well against the Dolphins. And he's had, a history with Miami. It was with the Bills, I remember. And when I look at Fields, here's a guy that completes 57.6% of his passes. He's going to hurt you more with his legs than with his arm. Okay? He's got a touchdown and no interceptions through the 2 games that he played. Taylor, through 2 games, completed 70% of his passes. 70 to 57, I think there's a little bit of a difference there. And then 3 touchdowns to 1 interception. So there's a part of me that says, I want you to rush the passer. I want you to hit him, but don't hit him out of the game. Because, again, it's not that I would fear Taylor. It's just that I don't trust the Dolphins. You know what I'm saying? I agree with Weaver this week. Not the violence part, of course. We want that to always be part of football. But I do believe that they showed a little something in that Bills game where they started to get better, which, has been this silly subject about Weaver. It's so stupid. One of the dumbest things that has happened, and this happens with our media and this happens with fans. And anybody that thought that the defense was going to be really good at the beginning to start the season with 3 rookies at defensive tackle, an entire secondary that cannot play. And then I like our linebackers, right? They're a good group, but they can't cover. They're not very good in coverage. And you know that, or I know that. I don't know if some of you. So you put all of this together and then you go, well, what happened last year when Weaver got a whole bunch of new guys? Did it start off well? No, it didn't actually. And it took them a little bit to figure everybody out and all that. And as I've said consistently for a couple of weeks, the second half of the season, that defense will play much better, no matter who you give that guy. But it's going to take them some time. Unfortunately, that defense was never made to save your season. Sorry. If anything, it's your offense that has to carry you early, and they failed. So, it's just ridiculous to think that Weaver was going to have that defense humming in the first week when it's going to take him a while. He had no pass rush last year. And it took him a while to kind of figure things out. Okay, I don't have a pass rush. How do I play defense? He played without a pass rush and was a top 10 scoring defense. I mean, if that's not coaching, I don't know what is. So now he doesn't have a secondary instead of a pass rush. It's the opposite. So now he's got to figure shit out this way. It's like some people out there think that coaching is just like magic and we just throw the guys out there and, hey, let's turn on the magnet. And they'll pop around and they'll just figure out where they need to go. It's just like magnetic football. It'll just all work out. Come on, man. We got to have a little bit more common sense here. So it's going to be a learning process for those 3 defensive tackles, just like it is for Savaiinaea on the other side of the ball. Anybody that thought Savaiinaea was going to come in and start dominating, plus he played right guard. Now, he played right guard for his career. Now he's got to go play left guard and habitually relearn everything that he was doing habitually right. Now he has to do it left at the highest level. Woo! Poor kid, man. But I think down the line, we will have a Webb and Sims. But we got to give it time. Last year, Patrick Paul, in the offseason, I saw people writing Patrick Paul off. In the offseason, I saw fans and media people talking that they should draft a left tackle. And I'm like, yo, they drafted one. And people were already giving up on Patrick Paul in his rookie year when he barely played. That's the world that we live in. So if you expect Weaver to be and his defense to be a finished product right from the get-go, you don't know football. And if you were reading it from somebody, they don't know football. Got it? So if a media member is on his high horse or her high horse and, oh my God, Weaver's terrible and this and that in the first couple games, they don't know football. Pretty simple. I don't give a shit who it is. You don't really understand what's going on. We got to be patient. He's a hell of a coach. He'll figure it out. But it takes time. You have no talent in the secondary, and all of a sudden you want it orchestrated with a weak-ass training camp and preseason that doesn't tell you anything, and don't believe any media member that tells you, well, I went to practice. You didn't see shit in practice because they don't show you anything in practice. What? You got there and you got to take roll. That's all you do. Who showed up and who didn't? Who's injured? Who's not? Thank you. End of story. We'll find out the real stuff in the preseason, the regular season. You won't tell us anything in training camp. Take it from me. Trust me. Okay? They just use that on you to make you think like they have some kind of an edge on you, which they don't. Not really. You'll find out like they will when the game starts. See, a lot of people had the Dolphins in the playoffs. How's that assessment going? Anyway, is what it is. Be patient with Weaver. He'll figure it out. Okay? It'll work out. It's kind of like Bitcoin. Hang in there. It'll figure it all out. It'll climb and it'll explode. Don't worry about it. So I think Dolphins get a nice break here with Justin Fields starting, because I don't think he can hit the ocean. I could put him right in the beach right now and say, there's the ocean, hit it. And he'd hit a lifeguard that's behind him. He'd knock his ass out probably. He can throw it. It's got an arm. So you don't want to get hit by it, but this is going to happen. So we'll see if you can stop Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson, and that's going to be the fun challenge of tonight for this defense. And I would imagine that he's not going to sit back there and wait for long plays to develop with Miami's pass rush. Miami's pass rush will be neutralized. They're still getting sacks. That's because the few times you do hold it, they can get back there. But they're gonna run. They're gonna attempt to run, and they're probably gonna use the short passing game and the quick passing game, which is what teams have been doing to offset the ultimate strength of the defense, which is the pass rush. And hopefully today we'll start to see, some brighter spots with the young DTs. One of them is already inactive, so we'll see what happens with Phillips and what's it called, and Grant. So hopefully those guys will start to do something. It would be nice to see a Savanaya start to have some success, these kind of things. We'll see what happens. The screwed up part about tonight is anything goes. Just anything goes. It's not like you're going to sit here and be surprised if they lose. You're not going to be sitting here surprised if they win. You're not even going to be surprised if they tie. It's just, I don't think we're at a point anymore where there is, I'm sure there's a couple of blind ass fans out there, but I don't think we're at the point where people are extremely hopeful of what could be. I think they're kind of been hit finally by reality of what we're seeing is not very good, and I don't know what the upside is. By the way, Welton Rayom is a proud sponsor of our program. We love Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom. 954-966-4646. You need personalized service. That's what Jeff and Dan give you. From the second you call them and run by whatever case you have, because the consultation's free, you're going to get two gentlemen that are going to listen to you. They're going to understand what your issue is, and then they're going to tell you if they can help you, if you have a case, and then you can move forward. And let me tell you something. If you have damage in your business or at home, the first thing you do is grab that phone and you dial the insurance company. That's the last thing you should do, believe it or not. Welton Rayom, they have their own adjusters. You call them, they go, they assess the damage. Their adjusters put everything together, and then Welton Rayom calls the insurance company, and they're already loaded with the information that you can't have because you're not an adjuster, and neither am I, and we're not official. They are. So they got to kind of take their word, and then all of a sudden they have to send their adjusters. But now they know that there's another professional on the other side that is challenging everything that they do. And that's what you want from Welton Rayom. And that's why so many of our listeners have had so much success, whether it's bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, personal injury, commercial litigation, you name it, business owner claims. Call my guys, Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom, 954-966-4646. And make sure you tell them that Big O sent you, and I promise you that they will take care of you there at Welt and Rayom. All right? All right. What do we have here? What else do we want to talk about? This is, besides the race for number one in wins, right? Because everybody's looking for the number one win. That's what I mean by first win, because we're talking about 0-3 teams on a Monday night schedule, which is just, I think if they could flex this, they would have flexed this thing right away. By after week one, they would have said, yeah, that Jets-Dolphins game on a Monday night, yeah, that looks like a mistake. And obviously it was a mistake because you could have picked some other games. Although, who knows? Two stinkers could make it an interesting game, right? But, I mean, you look at this game, all right, and they're trying to go for their first win. The defense, both defenses are trying to get their first turnover. Justin Fields, he can turn it over for you. Tua, unfortunately, last few weeks, whether it's his fault, whether it's the dysfunction of the offense and people aren't doing what they're supposed to, whatever it is, okay, it's whatever. Bottom line is turnovers are happening. And it falls on Tua because obviously in Tua's case, they don't credit him for wins. They only credit him for losses. It's really weird. Every other quarterback gets credited for wins, but they never get credit for, the losses. They kind of take it away from, but the wins, they get all the credit for pretty much. But anyway, with Tua, it's kind of the reverse. So he's getting the heat, which well-deserved, right? He hasn't played well. But that's how bad this is. Two teams that are looking for their first win, two defenses that are looking for their first turnover. So you don't want to be the team that gives the other team the first turnover or the first win, because you don't want to walk away 0-4. And your defense, you're playing, one of the crappier offenses. You got a chance to create a turnover. Let's hope that the Dolphins don't have a secondary. This will be very interesting to see what happens with Justin Fields because he is erratic. Our secondary today, we could kind of watch them, and they may not even have to try to make an interception. It may just come to them with Justin Fields out there. Now, if the defense can somehow really get after Tua, then maybe you can force a turnover. I don't think they'll force a turnover if they're not pressuring. If they're not doing something to really disrupt the pocket and his vision, I don't think they'll get a turnover. But Miami, I think they're going to get a chance because it's such a bad secondary. They'll get tested. They'll get tested in this game. Again, I am really happy that they're playing Justin Fields and not Tyrod Taylor. Man of 1,005 holds. Thank you for the love on the super chat. He says Finn's new unis will give them super strength. Yeah, I hope so. Problem is it still has that logo. I don't know if that logo does anything for you. I think that logo takes away from it. Ty in the Bronx. Thank you for the super chat, sir. He says, not me, Big O. I have them 6-11. And that's why today, I think a lot of us, if they lose, you're not going to be as pissed as you normally are. Be honest. You're really not going to be as pissed as you normally are. If they win, you'll be happy because, dude, who wants to lose to the stinking Jets? That's just disgusting having to lose to the Jets. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to lose to the Jets. It's horrible to have to lose to, and especially when they're 0-3 and you're playing against Justin Fields. Jesus. But this is desperate, man. Both teams need to pick up a victory. Both teams need to pick up their first turnover. Ty in the Bronx has them at 6-11. You had him a little worse than I did. I had him at 7-10. And I think Pat in Asheville, I don't know if he's out there watching, but he told me in the preseason, he goes, "You're being too kind." He's probably right. Mossy says, Big O, I have a new theme song for the rest of the McDaniel era. Calgon, take me away. Oh, man. Let's see. Our defense plays like the old college WAC conference defenses where teams just drove up and down the field all game long. It was kind of like last night, right? Shit, dude. Green Bay and Dallas, they couldn't stop anything. Murphy says Fields will shred the Fins. Big O is delusional. I've been called that before. It's been proven already, so you're probably right. Cesar Cienfuentes says, just tuned in, Big O. I agree with what you said about Tyrod. He's been a Dolphin killer throughout his career. Yeah, dude. Miami got a break today. Well, listen, if Justin Fields goes out with an injury, then Tyrod comes in. I hope that Justin Fields stays in for the whole game because I just don't think he ends up burning you with his arm. As long as they can control the run and not let it get crazy with the running back and the quarterback, we'll be all right. But if you allow the quarterback and the running back to run wild, yeah, this is going to be a long night. And it's going to be frustrating to watch the Dolphins lose to this terrible team. Kevin Grant says, TD, the more the Dolphins lose, the better the future will be. Well, maybe. Maybe. That's what... Let me ask you something. It's 45 years. They've had the really bad years with higher picks. They've had the years of the playoffs. They have a new coach. They have a new general manager. They have new quarterbacks. When is it changing? I'm sorry. I must have missed that because that's a broken record. That everything will be better. If we keep losing, you'll get a better pick. Does that mean you'll get the right player? Or will you end up with Jake Long and Ronnie Brown? Just wondering. Because one was 1 and the other one was 2, and neither one was worth their pick. I'm just wondering. I mean, talk about delusional fan, right? Oh, well, no, if we lose, great. We move up in draft position, and, that always just means so well for us. When they didn't worry about draft position, they ended up with Marino at the back end of the first round. When they didn't worry about draft position, they ended up with Tim Bowens late. They used to win, and they still would end up with a player every once in a while, and it wasn't early. It's not like you really pick certain players early. Sometimes you pick them late. And that's because in the draft, if you know what you're doing, you're going to draft well in the first, in the third round, in the fourth round, the second round. And it doesn't matter how much you lose or win. But the delusional statement by this fan or any other fan out there moving forward is, oh, the more we lose, the higher pick, and it'll be better for us. Really? Where does that guarantee you that? Where in the Dolphin history that guaranteed you that in the last 40 years? Did not. Oh, we'll get to change the coach. Okay, well, we've changed many coaches. How'd that work out? We've changed many general managers. How'd that work out? We've even changed owners. How's that worked out? Just kind of find it funny that we go to that place where, the more the Dolphins lose, the better the future will be. Really? Yeah, that hasn't been the case. That's a flat out lie. You're like lying to yourself when you say that because that's not true. Never has been true, never will be true, because the Dolphins barely ever win anything. And really, the last like 30 years, they win nothing significant. Nothing whatsoever. They're not involved in anything significant. So losing or changing or whatever, none of that has helped. How screwed up is that? So don't lie to yourselves about that. Until you have a real role where your owner, front office, and coaching staff are picking the right players, there's synergy, and there's honor, then that's when we can feel great about all. But right now, we just can't feel like that because the right combination isn't there. So, Mountain Man Fishing, Jimmy could have had Randy Moss, yet he traded down and took a scat back in John Avery. And then said, no, but then he took Larry Shannon in the third round and told us that Larry Shannon would be as good as Randy Moss. Okay? And by the way, if it wasn't Randy Moss, you know who was the other player that he should have had there also? Vonnie Holliday, who ended up having a great career and then came as an older player to the Dolphins. So it was Vonnie Holliday and Randy Moss. Instead, they went with John Avery. How do you like that, Jimmy Johnson, the overrated one? Kosa's Waller's going to be a juggernaut like the Alabama offensive line this weekend. Man of 1,050 goes, Waller gets injured on his second catch. It would be so Dolphins. Okay, I'm not wishing any injury on any player, okay? Even on the Jets, dude, okay? I'm not that's just a dick move. I'm not doing that. But it would be so Dolphins because, I mean, we just got a right guard that lasted like 42 seconds. Right? I think it was right after the Star Spangled Banner, right? He like twisted his knee or something. He like... I'm out, and so whatever. I'm exaggerating. What else do we have here? We need the darker aqua we had from the Ricky Williams days. Oh, I like those. I'm with you there. I like that. I mean, the uniform's all right, but you can't use anything but this logo. If you don't use the real logo, that whale does not fly for me. I saw some really nice Dolphin sneakers. Really love them, dude. Freaking new logo on it. No way. Wouldn't even be caught dead in it. Okay? All right? If my wife puts on Dolphin sneakers in my coffin that has the new logo, I will rise from the ashes to haunt her and the rest of you for that, okay? Just want you to know. No new logo for me. Maybe you should tell Stephen Ross, because Marino let that shit out of the bag in the offseason, that he'll never let go of the new logo because that's his baby, he called it. Quote, his baby. But hey, listen. Okay? Stephen Ross doesn't meddle. Don't you laugh when some media members tell you that, especially some of them that are like really close to the team? Yeah, he doesn't meddle. No, he's just trying to get Brady and Peyton. Yeah, he doesn't meddle. Go get Harbaugh in the middle of the night. He doesn't meddle. He wanted to extend Joe Philbin. He doesn't meddle. He wanted to extend Mike McDaniel. He doesn't meddle. No. He doesn't meddle. He would never do that. That's why last week, when we were hoping that they'd fire McDaniel, the Pelissero quote came out. The owner, Stephen Ross, says he doesn't want to fire anybody. He likes Mike McDaniel. He wants to make it work. Whoo, doggy. Does he really care? Does he care? I really have a hard time believing that Stephen Ross truly cares about winning. I really do. And he certainly doesn't listen to the fans because the fans don't want his new logo. And he doesn't change it, but he doesn't meddle. And Marino didn't tell you that it's his baby, but he doesn't meddle. He's just the owner. That's all. But he doesn't meddle. What else do we have here? Good evening to you, Rosendo. The new logo is soft, like the Dolphins. The Dolphins have been soft for 45 years. So, yeah, figured, you know what? It's a soft franchise. Stephen Ross took over and he said, hey, a soft franchise deserves a soft logo. And then that's how we ended up with the whale. I think that gentleman is right. Mountain Man is right. When you're right, you're right. And the Mountain Man, you can't argue with the Mountain Man. You don't do those things. Brian Walter says, Big O, I wish the Robbie family did not have to sell them because of the... Yeah, I know, right? God. And that whole thing about building your own stadium is what crippled the family and they lost the team. It sucks, dude. Sucks. Because I would... I've been fortunate to be around a guy like Tim Robbie. Tim Robbie would have done well. Good dude, man. Really good person. Knows his shit. When we were working together at Inter Miami, and when he left, I was like, he left, and then another guy left that to me was maybe, one of the three best employees in the entire place. And we're talking about a couple hundred people that are employed. I'm telling you, easily one of the three best. I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to get him involved. But Tim leaves, and then this gentleman leaves. And I was like, okay, I knew we were going to shit. I knew, okay, these people really don't care. They just care about the players on the field. They're not really caring about the broadcast and all the other stuff that goes with it and their little Mickey Mouse media relations staff and all that. It just, yeah, man. Yeah. Crazy, man. Crazy. So Tim would have been good. Once Tim left, because I worked with Tim at the Miami FC / Strikers, because he's the one that went to Miami FC and said, hey, you guys are doing all this wrong. You're playing here in Fort Lauderdale, all of that. You need to change and go back to being the Fort Lauderdale Strikers. And we went from like having 200 people at the games to 4,000 right away, just because we switched back to the Strikers. That's it. That was Tim Robbie. He might have known a little history of it since his family started it, whatever. But yeah, the Robbies would have been good. That would have been cool. But it is what it is, man. Big O, what's the parlay move for tonight? Dude, I didn't do well for you last time. So I appreciate you asking again, but man, I let you down last time. And this is a tough one to parlay. Okay. Let me see what we got here. Hold on a second. Let me see what we got. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Bag on Head. Thank you. Bag on Head, you sent me $6.66. That is very interesting. Big O, I want James Fish to be the new Dolphins GM. He's the CEO of Waste Management. He has a lot of experience managing garbage. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you immensely. And I was born in 1966, so you sent a 66. There you go. And Iron Maiden is my favorite heavy metal band, and they have a song called Number of the Beast. 666, the number of the beast. So hell and fire. Hopefully the Dolphins are sworn to be released. We'll see if torches blazed and forget about it. I'm not going to get into all the lyrics. Anyway, but thank you, sir. Thank you. As for parlay, all right, let me see what we got here, okay? First of all, let me look at the Dolphins parlay. Well, you know what? Let me look at the Bengals and the Broncos player props, okay, for touchdowns. Let me see if there's like something that could be of value. See, my problem is the quarterback situation for the Bengals. It's really tough to put your money on some of these guys overall. I don't like anytime touchdowns there. Passing, I mean, Jake Browning, God. Does Bo Nix go over 225 or do you stay under? That's interesting. Rushing. Tough. Okay. Now let me see if there's anything for the Dolphins game that I like. Remember I told you wait for the live line in the 2.5 and see if the Jets get the ball and they start first and they drive, it drives down the number and you might be able to get a better value for it. All right, touchdowns anytime. I mean, Achane is minus 145. That's not value, unfortunately. Tyreek Hill is plus 145. Jalen Waddle. You know, I like Jalen Waddle plus 190. Okay? I like that one. All right, we're going to go Waddle, anytime touchdown, plus 190. Okay? Ollie Gordon, anytime touchdown, 230. That means I'm asking for the Dolphins to score 2 touchdowns. Hey, Waller is plus 475. Mason Taylor, plus 375. I wouldn't bet that one for nothing. Nick Westbrook Akini, plus 900. Tanner Connor, plus 1,000. Julian Hill, plus 1,100. That's crazy. That is crazy. All right, so I'm going to go Jalen Waddle, anytime touchdown, plus 190. Let me go with receiving now. Garrett Wilson. Oh God. Yeah, I'm going to go Garrett Wilson over 65.5 against that secondary. Okay. Over 65.5. But you know what? No, I'm scratching that. It's minus 140. I don't like the odds. It's too rich. My bad. Malik has let me down, but this is the kind of game where I think they could be moving the chains. You know what? I'm going to go over Malik Washington. Okay? Malik Washington. That's what I'm going to do. Over 22.5. And we have plus 105 on that one. So I'm going to take that. And now let's go with rushing. One more. Breece Hall's at 56.5. Devon Achane's at 55.5. Oh, baby. Justin Fields at 48.5. But he might get injured, so I'm not going to do that. Ollie Gordon, 25.5. Over under. Yes. And we're going to go Ollie Gordon, 25.5 minus 110. And that, my friends, gives you plus 1,000. So there you go. Okay. Ollie Gordon over 25.5. We're going to go Waddle, anytime touchdown, plus 190. And then we're going to go Malik Washington over 22.5. And that'll be plus 105. Okay. There you go. That's it. That's my 3-man parlay there. Anybody like it? Is it good? Is it shitty? Terrible? Awful? How much will I lose? Will I lose my entire house? True Fin Fan, thank you for the love on the super chat, sir. How is my 6-win season predicting looking? Shitty. I don't think they'll win 6. So you're way off, buddy. Sorry. Could win 3 right now at this pace. So I don't know. There maybe 4. If they win today, they're looking at winning at 1 every 4 games. So no, yeah, you're bad prediction on your part. Okay. Too many games. You got too cocky. You got too confident on the Dolphins. Look at that. Look at that. Tell you. Anyway. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation as always, and we appreciate it. Thank you all out there. Please smash. Man, you haven't gotten us over 100. We got over 200 people watching. We're at 72. Come on. Come on. You guys can get, the counter go real quick. Let's go. Get that counter going, baby. Come on. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show, and hit that like button. Smash it. Get it over 100 easily. Get the algorithm going. You can get it to 200 right now if you really wanted to. It'd be pretty magical if everybody hit the like button right now and that bitch popped up to 200. That would be pretty freaking cool. We've never done that. We've got like 40 or 50 or 60 at a time, but 127, that would be kind of nuts for us to do. You know what I'm saying? But first time for everything, right? So we can do that. Big O, the Dolphins uniforms look nice, even with the new logo. They do look nice. I just would put the old logo on it, but I do like it. It is kind of sharp. I just wish our team was sharp. I wish they were as sharp as the stadium, as sharp as the entire place, the entire compound. I wish they were that sharp too. That's what I need the team to be. No doubt says, careful, Big O, tempting to hope Ollie actually gets the ball this week. Lots of trust in Mike. But, dude, it's 26 yards I need. I think he can get that in a few carries against the Jets. Yes. Yeah, I know you're right. You're right, but that's where, I can't get too many long shots. So I kind of like this one. A little bit of long shot, but not too much. That's why it's minus 110. I like the Waddle one. I like him to score a touchdown here because there's so much attention on Tyreek as it is. And I would imagine that what's the kid, the corner, I'm sure he's going to end up covering him. The number 1 corner now, he's going to probably cover Malik. I'm sure of that. So, he's going to cover Tyreek. So that would be, I think Waddle scoring today. I like it. We'll see. It's hard to hit those parlays. What else do we have going on? Justice Maldonado likes Waller over 1.5 receptions. Okay. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it. Well, I pulled this one out of the collection. So yeah. Love this hat, actually. I don't wear it as much, but it's a cool little hat. different colors, kind of play a little bit with the, sometimes with different wardrobes, so you can still sport the logo, but different style. What else? Big O, I heard this from Tobin that we should trade for AJ Brown. Tobin, he's such a good dude, but obviously his shtick is all about crazy ass hypotheticals and crazy ass stuff. That's just whatever. It's fun talk, but none of it is ever really substance. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he's one of those dudes that does the heat thing. Everybody wants to play with Jimmy. No, he'll get to me. Now, everybody wants to play with Bam, and and I'm sure now he's saying that everybody wants to play with Jokic or something. It's I would say that Tobin is probably the number one hopium dealer in South Florida. That's what I would call him, because he plays that fan role on the radio. So kind of stay neutral, don't hurt anybody, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't think there's anybody that spreads more hopium than him. Yes. Yeah. That's kind of, you can never lose when you do that. You spread the hopium, if it doesn't happen, hey, you were meaning well and all that. You do what I do, then you tell people the truth that, yeah, things aren't going to be good. You're an asshole. You're a bad guy. All those kind of things. So, it's not a fun existence that I hold. The honest approach is not one that really is popular. People don't want that. They'd rather do the other stuff, the fun stuff. That's kind of the way it goes. Think Blue Dodgers, Big O. Who will be the Cutter's Edge MVP of the night? Well, sir, first of all, it's the Cutter's Edge Pro Difference Maker of the night. It's the Moody's Dental MVP of the night. And then it's the Sloman's Key Decision of the game. Those are the awards that we will be giving out. And if you're asking me who's gonna bring the edge tonight, Ollie Gordon is going to bring the edge tonight. Now, if they hand it off to him, we'll see it. If we don't, then, what can I do? I'll call William Quigley, and, because he's always got the edge. That's why they are Cutter's Edge Pro. You know what I'm saying? So I'll talk to William and see if he can straighten it out if it doesn't happen today. Okay. Let's see. Arrest that Tobin guy for 15 to 20, like heroin dealer. Oh, like a heroin dealer. Yep, it's that hopium. He pumps that hopium. He loves to pump that hopium. Tack Loves Art is getting pumped up. Kane Gang says, you ain't that honest when it comes to Greer and Tua. Don't kid yourself. Hey, man, I'm telling you, I'm wrong, right? That's it. That's fine. If you don't like Tua and you don't think he can play, then I'm wrong, right? And if you don't think Greer's the guy, then I'm wrong. And everything, all time will tell. We'll find out. Doesn't matter to me, that part. But I know what the biggest problem is, and it's the coach. If you don't have the right coach, you should have won. What does Chris Greer have to do with the first two games? Nothing. He's not the coach. You know what I mean? And I'm not sure he put him there. So until I'm actually sure he put him there, and we'll find out this offseason or in the next couple of weeks, or maybe tomorrow night or tomorrow morning. Who knows? If they lose tonight, maybe Stephen Ross will have the balls to fire him. But I can't say that talent has been necessarily always the issue here. I've been more pissed off at the coach. And I know for a fact that the front office didn't want to extend him. I know that for a fact. And all of a sudden the tune changed. Don't understand that one. But anyway. So it is what it is. You don't want to extend a guy like Tyreek, and then he all of a sudden gets extended. And you extend a guy like McDaniel who didn't do anything. It's the weirdest thing in the world. And that happened with Philbin. And the other guy wasn't in charge. So it's until I have clarity, and since the owner doesn't give me the clarity because he's guilty of so much stupid shit already as it is, I don't know what's what in that place. So that's kind of the way it goes. Eventually, somebody will be proven right or wrong. Time will answer all. I look forward to that. I will be here like I always am. What else? Big O, Fins Nation from San Jose. Oh, Jamie Zoria. He says, I'm mentally prepared to go 0-4, but still here we are. Remember to smash the like button, people, and fins up, everybody. Yes, please smash it. We did get over 100. We're at 107, so thank you, thank you, thank you. Still got over 200 watching, so a lot of people can hit the like button. A lot of people dislike. They dislike the like button, so they don't hit it. Damn it. Weird. You watch somebody, but you don't hit the like button. Really helps the show. Like, really helps the show. If you're not donating, if you're not visiting our sponsors like All Year Cooling from Homestead to Vero Beach and Naples, then hit the like button, man. You know, that's a great way to contribute to the show and help us and keep us alive. I didn't watch the first 3 games of the season. I'm not watching tonight, and I won't watch them until McDaniel's gone. Wow, Nyborg, really? You know I can't do that, right? I cannot do that. No matter how bad they are, I will always watch and suffer. And maybe once in a while enjoy myself. Ross doesn't have the balls to fire anybody. Maybe you're right, Josh. But it just does look like he's just really only cares about the money. Nothing else. True Fin Fan says, how can you miss my super chat? Did I? I'm sorry. Oh, here we go. Ollie gets 1 carry for 9 yards. McDick not arse-rified. What is that? Ass-rified? I don't know what that means. But anyway, thank you for the super chat, True Fin Fan, and I appreciate. I'm sorry for skipping over the second super chat there that you sent in, my man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it as always. You all are just absolutely amazing. Danny J says, I've been here. I've been watching and hoping for many years. I'm with you, bro. Oh, I did the 25 plus for Gordon and Waddle anytime TD. I trust you. Remember, I am not a gambling expert. I'm not a financial expert. I never give financial advice. None of that, okay? I'm just some schmucko here doing a talk show and hoping that it all works out for us, okay? But I actually like the 3. Ollie Gordon over 25.5. Waddle anytime touchdown. And Malik Washington over 22.5. I like that. You're getting plus 1,000. It's not bad odds. What the hell? Right? I like it. Jets 27th in offense. 22nd in defense. I mean, this is a game for this offense to get a little healthy. Hopefully they can do something about it today and provide us a little entertainment. It would be nice. You deserve it. I deserve it. We all deserve it. You know, it's kind of rough what's been going on. So really rough what's been going on. Ray, thank you for the love on Venmo, sir. Wow, you got a video in there? I didn't know you can do that kind of stuff. Let me see what our favorite coach does tonight. And he's showing me the Nat Moore helicopter. Those are memories. Those are memories. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. Bag on Head with another Venmo. Thank you, sir, for your generosity also. Says, not sure about anytime TD for Waddle. What's the line on McDaniel? Anytime F up. That'll be like minus 47,000. The odds will be terrible. It's not worth it because it's too guaranteed that he's going to screw up. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you guys are a trip. Anyway, remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can send it in anytime you're watching or listening or anything like that. And please make sure you smash the hell out of the like button whenever you're watching, whenever you're listening to. Okay. I did enjoy the fish and chips, by the way. I did. The daughter made some great fish and chips. Nice job, you guys paying attention. So I don't know if you can see it there. So those were the fish and chips today. She's an outstanding cook. She makes chips like this is all like scratch, dude. Everything, pasta scratch. She doesn't buy packaged pasta or anything. She makes it all herself. Yeah, she kills it every night that she cooks, man. It's amazing. I'm spoiled as hell. Because my wife and I aren't real cooks or anything like that. So we've been eating out people forever, you know. And so my daughter watches all these cooking shows and she loves cooking, gotten into cooking. So she's been cooking for us. And it is just, she's a rock star when it comes to cooking, man. The girl is very talented when it comes to cooking. Really, really cool. And thank you for asking. Gus 1388. Dolphin Dave Hill is firing up his team now. We're really in trouble. I think I'm going to watch a movie instead. Big O, happy. Oh, thank you. Yes. My birthday is in 2 days. On Wednesday, I'll be 59. I was born on October 1st, 1966. So I am old. And now I enter the final year before I enter 60, dude. Is that crazy? Probably not for you guys, but for the person that's living and going, what happened to those 59 years? Holy crap, that thing went by quick. Oh, Brett Dodger says, Big O's not a financial advisor. He's a financial soothsayer using common sense and logic. Thank you, sir. Very kind of you, Brett. Thank you. Let's see. My pocket potato says he's staying and hoping the turnaround of the Finns land. I hope so. I would like to see that. I don't have a lot of belief that it'll happen, but I can hope for it at least. I just need a win for tonight, bro. You know, I gotta say I've been doing this for 35 years, and I'm truly tired of losing. I'm tired of one bad season after another. I'm tired of not getting over the hump. I'm really tired of it. You know what I mean? I'm tired of the Tua talk. Wow, I really want him to leave already. I like Tua. I wouldn't have drafted him. It's there on video. I'll never bullshit you guys. I would have taken Tristan Wirfs. You know, I wasn't a Herbert guy, and Tua scared me because of the injuries. Not because I don't think he can't play. I'm convinced he can play, but I'm also convinced that you got to build an offense like you would build for Drew Brees, and you would build for Bob Greasy, and you would build for a Peyton Manning, and you would build for a Tom Brady. You got to have a line. You got to have blocking. You got to have a running back. You got to have the right weapons, you know, and especially when it's a shorter quarterback, you need to have bigger targets, which this head coach doesn't understand that. So there's a lot of things that I disagree with, and that's fine. We can disagree with it, dude. That's fine. We've seen it in the recent history, and I've seen it throughout my history. Quarterbacks in the wrong place, and they fail, and then they go to the right place, and they succeed. And I think Tua would succeed. So to me, I'm tired of the frustration for Dolphin fans. I'm tired of just the whole Mike McDaniel talk, Tua talk, Chris Greer talk, Ross talk. Like, I'm really, 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 really sick and tired of it. Okay? To be quite honest. You guys know I don't bullshit. Okay? I tell you how I feel, and it is what it is. I wear my emotions on my sleeve. And so I don't know, man. I just want some kind of closure. I want something, you know, because it's just no fun. There's no fun. And the dumbest thing in the world is what we do every year, where we try to build ourselves up to just have them tear us down. You know what I mean? And we do this every year. We build ourselves like that guy. Oh, if we lose, it'll be better. Really? How is that? You know, which is bullshit. Because if you worry about losing in order to win, you're going to be a loser. I know this because I watched a winner and he stayed winning no matter what, and he was picking late in the draft all the time. So it didn't matter because if you can coach and you can turn over rosters, and And how do you think good teams in the NFL stay good? Because they draft well in all rounds. And because they hit on players and they can't sign all of them, so they allow some to go and they become compensatory picks, and it becomes a cycle. But you're going to have to hit on third rounders and fourth rounders and fifth rounders and sixth rounders and seventh rounders. So personally, I'm tired. I'm beaten down by all of this already at this point. Beaten down because the Dolphins have been just so fucking pathetic for 45 years. Even in the Marino years, it was great stats, but when the games meant something, what happened to that team every single time? Folded every single time because it was a soft finesse ass team. So personally for me, I'm tired of talking about the Dolphins' constant failures. And so I'd like for some winning. I'd like for things to change. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not, I'm at a point where I'm just not going to be bullshitting people about it like others do. I'm not doing that just because I want them to finally get over the damn hump. But yeah, dude, it's tiresome. It's tiresome dealing with this bullshit all the time. And they're so incompetent. And everybody else is winning titles throughout your tenure that you don't win shit. The Marlins had a GM that built 2 titles in Dave Dombrowski. He built 2 titles and left. Is that screwed up or what? And these people can't do a goddamn thing right. So, yeah. It gets tiresome. And the Tua talk, oh, God, I'm so sick of it already. I want him to leave. Before, none of you want him here anyways. You know what I'm saying? He's not appreciated for shit anyways. You people treat him like shit when he does win. So it doesn't really matter. Plus the coaches here are a fucking joke. So he should leave. At least he may have a chance to succeed somewhere else. Like Geno Smith has, like Daniel Jones has, like Steve Young got out of Tampa, like many players that get out of terrible places. And this is what Miami is. And that's the part that we all have to kind of realize. The problem isn't the players. The problem is the place. The players don't succeed here because this place is not good. They don't know how to succeed. So we keep blaming all the players, and they can go on and they can leave and go have success in other places. And you're like, wow, he used to play with us. He used to play with us. He's on that winning team. He's on that winning team, but he's not on this winning team because this team doesn't know how to win. So bag on head, you continue. Thank you, sir. Now you send in a super chat after a couple of Venmos. Thank you. He says, what's sad? I was at the Dolphins' very first game in their history. I had season tickets for 40 years. I'm not at the point where I don't care enough to get upset when they lose. It doesn't bother me anymore because we're immune to it already. We're numb to it. It's normal. It's normal to be a mediocre franchise. That's what the Dolphins prove. For them, it's absolutely normal to be a shitty franchise. That's all they know. But what happened in the 70s, that was a long, long time ago. Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker on Venmo, thank you for the love and the generosity. I appreciate that. He says, how much do you think McD's speech issues play in getting plays in on time? I would think there's a good 5 seconds of O's. Yes, I would agree. Yes. He doesn't know how to be concise. He doesn't know how to stand at the podium and answer a question directly. He has to think about it all. There's no time for that. That's why his press conferences are so long. And you're like, what the hell is this dude? And it's because all the questions are so terribly answered. So I can't imagine that's why all the plays get in late. And that's why this ignorant mofo doesn't get it, and he never changes. The guy never freaking changes. I'm so freaking tired of Mike McDaniel. Seriously, I am just sick and tired of Mike McDaniel. You cannot win, you cannot advance with a person like that. He does not know how to bring the orchestra together. And that's what he's supposed to be, the conductor. He's supposed to be the chef. He's got all the ingredients. You know, yes, he's got a fantastic football mind. Man, I've seen it. I know he can draw up plays, but he just doesn't know when to use them, when not to use them. He doesn't know when to counter. He doesn't know how to compliment his players. He is an absolute cancer to his team, is what he is. That's what he is. He's a cancer to his team. How crazy is that? So, what can I tell you? What else do we have? Maybe that's why Mike throws so many bubble screens. Everything he does is indirect, just like his speaking. Who knows? Shang too strong, McDaniel's too soft. Yes, he is. Oscar Ross, Big O, the best example leaving out of Tampa was Doug Williams. He went to Washington with the Hogs and won it all. Exactly. You know, and he killed himself in Tampa. He killed himself, dude. His best years, he left his body and pieces of his body there on that field in Tampa. He sacrificed everything. That guy would sell out his body. Man, that is one of the strongest quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life. I saw that man put two defenders on their ass going into the end zone. Doug Williams. I've never seen that in my life. He was a big man, strong man. And there were two guys, and he was running to get into the end, and he ran over two defenders. I was like, wow, this guy's just a freak. Big O Hunter Long is doing very well in Jacksonville. Man, it just, whatever, bro. You know, what can I tell you? Cosa Nostra says, once again, I donate what I can when I can and do with so much support. Yes, you do, Cosa. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. And always hit the like button, which I know you do. Thank you all out there. Got to 150, man. That's not bad. Got it. That's pretty good. We can push to 200 there. I like it. All right, folks, we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to rest the voice because I got to come back for the post-game show. It would be the third show I do today. I love you all. We will see you in the post-game show. Let's just hope they show up and get it done. You know what I'm saying? That's all I want, man. We'll see you post-game. Same time, same place, same bat channel. Go Dolphins.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.